Hey fam, my name is Kare and I would like to share my testimony with you. In February 2022, I had a meeting with Pastor Don. So I get to his office and we got talking. After about a couple of, I'd like to say 15 minutes, our conversation shifted and Pastor Don began giving me prophetic words. I would like to share a couple of them, particularly two that he shared, which is the purpose of my testimony today. The first word he gave me, he said, "You think you're being fought, but God is getting you ready for a handover." Now, at that particular point in time, there's a project I was working on. It had been an amazing project, but all of a sudden, it became very contentious. People were fighting. There was a lot of bickering. People were not working together. And it was just, it became a horrible project to work on. And so when he gave me that word, I was there like, really? The word I thought God was going to give me is that God is going to fight your battles. He will silence the enemy. But what God said is that He is getting me ready for a handover. If I'm being honest, I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to get over it. The second word that He gave me was that there's a book God has asked you to write. It has a yellow cover. It will be huge. And it will open very many doors. October 2020, we ran a very successful mental health campaign by the grace of God. And after that campaign, it opened up a lot of opportunities where we got to speak, minister to people in different spaces and in different platforms. After that, I remember one day when I had a speaking engagement, I got home and I remember I was so exhausted. And so I sat down on a chair that is not my usual chair. You know how you have your comfy chair? So I sat on this chair and I clearly remember God telling me, "I want you to write a book on mental health." My response was, "Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no." I was like, "Me? You want me to write what?" Up until this time, the only book I had written was a devotional book. And here I was being told to write a mental health book. That required me to do a lot of research. It required me to immerse myself in a lot of study. And then I also needed to interview people with lived experiences, all of which were things I was not equipped or skilled to do. Imposter syndrome began checking in. I kind of felt like Moses, stammering and giving God all these excuses as to why he was not the right person for the job. And so when Pastor Don released that word, I knew it was time to get started. Remember the first word Pastor Don gave me? In April of that year, the word came to pass. The project came to an end, and now all of a sudden, what was my excuse? Part of my excuse was that I didn't have time. I had more than enough time to begin working on this book. And so I did. On Good Friday of that year, to be precise, I went away and I began penning the book. Absolutely nothing could have prepared me for the journey of writing this book. I felt like I was birthing. God spoke to me. God ministered to me. God told me it's a book that is going to bring a lot of healing, and that healing needed to begin with me in my own life. I remember at some point being so frustrated with God because it got so deep. And I remember telling God, "You told me to write a book that will help people, not me. This book is not for me." And He told me it must start with you, because if it doesn't start with you, then you're going to curtail what I need to do through this book. And so it got to a place where now, as I was writing the book and praying, God began showing me the people on the other end waiting for this book to be released. We went on, and I went on writing, and by God's grace, I completed the book, and the book was launched on June 16th. One of the things I need to point out is that when I'm in a season of writing, one of the things I don't do is look at the design. And so I'll always wait until I'm finished writing, the manuscript has gone to print, and then I sit down with the designer and we work on the cover design. So when the manuscript had been sent to print, I remember telling the designer, "I'm now ready to see the cover design." Can you imagine my shock when he opened the design, and the book was yellow. Just as Pastor Dawn had said, I was in awe. And so God's word came to pass. But it didn't stop there. This was but the beginning. Another thing that Pastor Dawn had said was that there will be testimonies, it will be huge, and that it will create an impact. I cannot begin to explain the number of lives that have been changed, from individuals to corporates to people who come and share and say, I was on the verge of giving up. There was no hope, but your book helped me go on. And it's not lost to me as I share this testimony that you could be there. You're here today in church. You look well put together. You've enjoyed praise and worship. You're smiling with the people around you. But you're in a place where you're on the verge of giving up. You're caught somewhere between giving up and wondering, how much more of this can I take? If that is you, God gave me a word for you, and I'd like to share it with you. If I could give you one thing in life, I would give you the ability to see yourself through my eyes. Only then would you realize how special you are to me. There is no need to fear, for I'm your God. I'll give you strength. I'll help you. I'll hold you. I'll keep you steady. Keep a firm grip on you, and I'm not letting go. Don't panic. I'm right here to help you. I've never quit loving you and never will. Expect love, love, and more love. Give your entire attention to what I'm doing right now, and don't get so worked up about what may or may not happen tomorrow. I will help you deal with whatever hard things come up when the time comes. Trust me from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for my voice in everything you do, everywhere you go, and be patient and wait for me to act. I will yet fill your mouth with shouts of joy and your lips with laughter. You are not alone. You are loved. You matter. These too shall pass. God bless you.